What's up, guys? So today I want to talk about one of the biggest things that I see new students do that kills their ability to learn quickly. One of the most important things that Bruce Lee felt you could do to improve your ability to learn martial arts is to focus on what he called body feel. Try this exercise for me. Fold your arms and then take the arm that's on top and weave it underneath. If it's like me, it feels really weird. Or if you bring your hands like this, look at what thumb is on top, switch that grip, again, feels very weird. This is what I mean by body feel. You can feel when things are right and when they're not. When I'm in my fighting stance and I move, I don't have to look down at my feet to know if my feet are in the right place. I can feel that they're in the right place. I can feel what's right and what's wrong. And that takes time and intentionality to develop. One of the first drills that I'll give a student is a footwork drill where I put a pad down like this and I have them stand in their stance in front of the pad. Now the pad acts as the center line. This is right down the center where I'm firing my shots. This is where my opponent would be. Now if I'm facing you straight on, you can see that there's space between my feet so that I have room to pivot. I'm in a well-balanced stance. And then what I have them do is what I call walking the clock. I have them step around the pad like this. And each time they get here, they're supposed to look and see, am I in a good stance? And is the pad at my center line? Or am I starting to end up over here? Or maybe over here? Or am I starting to square up to the pad instead of remaining in my stance? And a lot of times, what I'll see students do is they'll just sort of haphazardly go through this. It'll look like this. And if I were to say, stop, right here, I'm in a crappy stance. I'm not in a good stance. I'm just mindlessly going through the motion. Or take, for instance, this line drill that I give to new students, where I start by just having them walk up the line right here to develop their footwork. And again, what I'll see students do is this. And if I were to say pause, look at where my feet are. They're basically together. If I were to try and punch from here, I've got nothing behind me, no stability. Sometimes this mindlessness shows up in their bag work when they're throwing jab crosses like this. Now we've all heard the adage, practice makes perfect, or variations like practice makes permanent, or perfect practice makes perfect. And I have my own, and that is intention makes perfect. We had an apple tree at our house when I was growing up, and I used to pick apples up and throw them in the air and try and hit them with a stick. And most of the time I would miss the apple. And so if practice makes perfect, then I should only be getting better and better at missing the apple. Even though most of the time I miss, I got better and better until I start being able to hit the apple more often than I used to. And the reason is because subconsciously, my mind would do all the calculations when I would throw the apple in the air. If I miss, my brain would go, okay, that was a little bit too soon, or that was a little bit too late, and it would start to adjust. I wasn't even consciously aware of it, but even though I was missing the apple over and over again, over time, I got better at hitting the apple. In other words, it's not bad to do something wrong. In fact, it can actually help you learn as long as you take the time to notice what felt wrong and then to adjust it to know what is right. We learn by contrast as much as by anything else. My instructor, Sifu Chris Kent, did a seminar here once where he had everybody throw their lead straight punch at the pad from just far enough away that they couldn't quite reach it. They would just barely touch it, but there was no penetration into the target. Then he had us all do the opposite, where now we got so close that when we would punch, we would land while our arm was still really bent and would end up almost like pushing through the pad. And then he had us go back and forth and start to whittle and find that perfect spot where the penetration was just enough to really drive in without becoming just a push. So he used contrast, the contrast of too far and too close to help you find the right spot. That's developing body feel. In other words, you're not doing it right because somebody's telling you that you're turning your arm exactly this much and that your body turns exactly at this precise time. Instead, you're doing it right because you can feel that it's right. And the only way you develop this body feel is by going slow, taking your time through the motions, and noticing when it's off and when it's not. When you do something and your feet are out of position, that's fine as long as you take the time to notice it and adjust. And then your brain logs it in and goes, okay, next time, maybe don't leave my legs so far apart, or maybe don't bring them so close together. As one of my students once put it, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Or as Daniel Santo once said, you can hide a lot of mistakes with speed. And it's really less about how fast or how slow you go. It's actually more about bringing intention to your practice, about not just doing things mindlessly. So take your time, don't speed through things, don't train mindlessly. Take the time to develop that body feel. And when you make mistakes, feel that and log it into your mind that that is one way it should not feel. And then adjust your body so your body can feel what correct should feel like. Awesome, guys. Bye, bye, bye.
Feel for the proper relation of the feet to each other and to the body while attacking in combination, retreating and countering. Note their positioning for all types of hits and kicks. Feel yourself in a balanced stance. You should be able to make all your moves at walking pace if necessary. Feel the difference by putting yourself in balanced and unbalanced positions. Move forward, backward, and sideways. Coordinate with striking and kicking.
How would you like to join me for a 21-day Fit Warrior Challenge live starting February 9th? This is an opportunity for you to get back in shape. I'm gonna give you a nutrition plan, a tracking sheet to track your workouts, and I'll be going live 3 days a week teaching a beginner's Jeet Kune lesson. So you can join me for that for your workouts, or you can do something else. I'm excited about the channel and I'm excited about the community I'm building, and I wanna do something together as a group. And so I'd love it if you join me. Go to a link in the description. It'll open up to a form where you fill in your information. I'll send you an email with the details as we get closer. If you give me your number, I'll also shoot you a text to just let you know when I've sent you the email so that if it goes to spam, you don't miss it, and we'll get rocking and rolling. This is absolutely free and purely just to get you results. Awesome, guys. Bye, bye, bye.